G'day, how you going? I'm Ianapolis from Australia, aka Ianapolis, your acrylic guru. Welcome to my video. Before we get started, just give me the thumbs up and share, like and subscribe. And there's also a new link down there. It's a donating link. That way, if you want to ever donate to my content, you're welcome to do that through PayPal, okay? Now, we have a special guest coming on later on in this show as well. It will be Janice Burns from Vero Beach in Florida. She'll be telling me when it's time to whack a frame on it, all right? And someone was asking me, how do I put my canvas onto my board here? I do it this way because I'm doing tutorials. You don't have to do this at home, but if you want to, you're totally welcome. Anyway, what I've got high-tack masking tape. There's different types of masking tapes. You can get low tack and high tack, which means the stickiness. Anyway, I double it over in 5 places. I put one in the middle to stop it in case it wants to try and bow. And that's how I place it onto my blackboard here. And I'm using the black surface because it's great for filming. Alright, so get on over here and let's get on with this video, okay? Before we get started, I just want to put the size of the canvas I'm using up there on the screen in centimetres and inches. Okay, and so I'll get the colours running up the screen there as well, so you can write them down and follow along after you've watched the video, okay? And you know what, while this is happening, I had a lovely message from a Deborah Gray. Her father, he's 85, and his wife passed away recently. And to get him out of his empty zone, he just stumbled across my YouTube channel here and started learning to paint along with me. And she was telling me how great it's changed him and it's filled his empty hours, which I can understand. Losing your life partner like that, you'll have a lot of empty hours, and they found my channel there was able to fulfill those hours and help him along. And she sent me this beautiful message, and I said, what's his name? And his name's Ken Gray. So I just want to say, hello Ken Gray out there. Thank you for watching my videos. And painting is really beautiful for the soul, okay? All right, let's get over here and have a look. So I have my horizon line level across the painting. It's a bit higher than halfway because I want some room to put some foreground water here, okay? The sky's going to be a bit under half, all right? So down here, we'll start off with the flowing white paint. Usually I do these with the yellow, but I'm going to try this one different today. So we have some flowing white paint and some retarder, okay? Grab my 2-inch synthetic brush, it's a flat brush, something I can incorporate that onto the canvas with. Okay, so I'll just give this a good mix. I've just got a glass palette painted white underneath for my palette here. Now I want to do the sky area, so I'm just going to do the sky half first, and then I'll come back and do the lower half later, because I don't know how long it's going to take me, and I don't want it to start drying. I want it to blend and work for me as I go along, okay? So I've got that on from left and right, and I'm just massaging it into that canvas tooth, ready for our sunset colours. Okay, next colour is Indian yellow. That's a very deep yellow. I used this in another painting before, and I'm using this one instead of painting the canvas yellow. Okay, I have some Indian yellow, and I've sprayed the end of my pouncer because I'm going to use the pouncer to incorporate this into the canvas, because I want, you can use a brush if you don't have a pouncer. Where do we want this? I want this yellow pretty much along here. There's where I want it. You can use a brush. I've just used this because it stamps on without taking too much of my white underneath off. Okay. All right, I've got a 2-inch blending brush, and I want to stamp down some of the patterns that pouncer was making on that paint, and then I'm going to blend this, tiptoe it into the white, but careful how high you go up. I want to wipe the blending brush on my paper towel as I go. I just want a soft transition tapering up into the white there, just like that. See how that's going? Beautiful, beautiful. Now we'll incorporate the next colour there. All right, grab yourself some orange, or I've got red gold, but use an orange. Now I've cleaned that pouncer and I'm going to do the same thing with me orange or red gold. If you don't have a red gold in a tube, just mix up a good orange. And I'll do the same here. So before I contaminate yellow into this pouncer, I'll start on the corners, bring it to the paint there, come across the top, and then come into that yellow where I want. Now I'm pressing softer, and I'm going to grab my brush and I'll blend all these patterns out of this colour up here now. I'm just making sure I've got enough on there before I do that though. Alright, grab the blending brush. Now I haven't cleaned that blending brush. Let's just see if we need to, because we don't want to. So I'm stamping all those patterns out of that orange or red gold, whichever colour you happened to have used in your project here today. And now I want to wipe the brush and start blending the two together. Careful not to contaminate too much of the dark down into that yellow. Now look at that transition. That's happening nice and soft, just the way I wanted it to go. Lightly twist. Practice blending colours together if you haven't done it before. Everything in a painting requires practice. Now I'm grabbing some more of this orange colour that I've got, the red gold, and I want a little bit of a darker value of this, so I'm grabbing some burnt umber, just the slightest, taintiest colour. I'm going to mix it next to my red gold there so as I can just see the different value colour tone that I've got, because I don't want to use the full-on burnt umber on there for this bit here. This is just going to be some clouds. So that's pretty much what I'm after, okay? And I'm going to use a fan brush to incorporate that up there. So I've just dampened it and dried it. And it's like I'm doing a cloud. So I'm getting my fan brush loaded up. And I want something, maybe here. Well, see, it is brown. It's the top that I'm keeping. I've just come right off there. Now, I don't know if you can see, but that board is very wet. Now I'm grabbing my blending brush, a clean blending brush, because we're changing colours, we're blending. And I want to blend that down to the horizon line there. Get it right down. Don't blend the buggery out of it so you've got nothing left. Work out your pressure you've got to use. This is just a subtle low-lying cloud in front of that sunset. Now we'll put the sun in there before we lose it. I've got another pouncer. I've wet it with my spray bottle and I'm loading it up with some white, just so as we can get our sun in there. Everything on the canvas is still wet, and I want my sun about here, so I'm just going to twist that on there, just like so. And I want to fade the edge out a bit. I don't want it really, hang on. There we go. I've just blended the edge out so the edge of it's nice and soft within there. Now the yellow is killing the white down, so if that's happening to you, just add some more white into your pouncer. Okay, so I've loaded up my pouncer again, and let's find our sun. give him a bit of a twist. There we go. How's that looking in there? That's looking all right. So back to our fan brush and our cloud there. We want this just in front of there. Okay, careful, your sun is very wet. Always pick up your towel when you're blending, I do. Now let's pull that down just in front of that sun there. Just like that, down to the horizon line. Get it right down there so it's changing the whole colour underneath there, okay? We could put something along here as well. So we're finding the top, creating the top. I'm going to come to about there. Created the top of that cloud just there. And like I did the other one, blend it down to the horizon. Everything's wet on the canvas from that retarder that I've put on there with the flow white. I call it flow white. People ask me, what's flow white? It's just a soft body paint. It's not a artist quality where it's nice and thick from the tube. It's just a student paint or a poster paint, okay? And as an example, if you want to put some cloud up in here, I've picked up this colour again before I change, and I want to just, let's just say bring this up and off the painting. It's like it's going over our head. We'll grab a blending brush and a paper towel. I've just grabbed another blending brush now because that one there's a different size. Now, this has got the sun behind it. The sun's not in this sky during the middle of the day, making this a beautiful white cloud. So we're just going to give it this kind of flavour. Now I want to just put some white into these now. The white's what's going to make it. So I'm going and making this a nice brown cloud. Get your blending brush and blend that into there. Twist it softly. Now you've got the brown and the white. It's pretty much blended together, which is what you want. And then we'll just put a little bit of yumminess into there. Okay, so right here near the sun, we want some, just some bright light hitting those clouds. And we'll give this one its yumminess. Just like that. Now with that yumminess, like I've said in previous videos, just kill it down, don't over blend it. You want to leave some of that there. I want to keep that nice bright white on the top of there, just like that. And this one here, I want, if anything, the yumminess on the bottom where the sun's hitting it. That'll do it. I can keep yummifying that till the cows come home, but we'll leave it there. Now I want to leave the bottom there and try and blend it up, just giving some yumminess into that cloud. I don't know if that cloud made the painting better or worse, but alright, it's there now. I'm not that keen on that, so I'm just going to, I've blended it away, and I'm just going to grab the raw umber and hopefully this will just put a silhouette of a cloud up there. Yeah, that'll do.
So scrap that first way I did the cloud, just put the raw umber there, or don't even put one there at all. You don't really need one. I got carried away there. That's why it pays to watch a video. So you can see this cloud. We'll pick up some of our red gold, or our orange, this colour here, and we'll just see if we can disguise that. You know, we've made a mistake. It doesn't have to be gone completely, but so long as we can lessen the ugliness that we've just put in our painting here. I'm grabbing my blending brush. I've cleaned it. Gee, what a mess we've made of this beautiful painting. Well, it's a bit of action up in the sky there. It's not too bad. We've got something out of it. And while that paint's still a bit damp, I'm going to use the white and just put a normal white cloud there, and it'll mix with the red and the brown what's up there. So I'll pick up some titanium white just with a fan brush, and let's just see what we can do here. We'll come down those two colours to try and weld them together with, you know, bits of cloud or mist, whatever, something in the sky, just to disguise that bit of a messy cloud that we had there, because I really feel I buggered it up and turned it into snot. So I want to fix that up. This is how you can fix something up if you make a mistake in a painting. Got some action going there, bit of darkness there. I think that I'm going to have a look in the monitor and just see how that's looking. It looks a bit better than what it was anyway. All right, let's carry on. Now our horizon line is here. I can just see the pencil mark. I've just wiped away any build-up of paint there, keeping the line reasonably straight. Use a paintbrush, a paper towel, your finger, whatever. Now, getting back to some more of this Flow White Student Craft soft body paint, we want to block in the bottom half now. So let's get this to our horizon line. Now, you don't have to be too exact, because some of that right up to the line's already got some of the stuff from the top there. But I'm using this flat synthetic 2-inch brush again, because it's good to control a lot of paint. Now we'll get the bottom half of this prepared, ready to blend the way I like to blend it. This has got that soft white paint, soft body paint, and it's got retarder in it. Okay, so now we're doing the bottom half. Why I didn't do the whole lot, because I've got to stop and start for the film, and I don't want it to get a bit, if anything, dryish on me. So now I know I'm starting from a fresh surface down the bottom here, and I don't have to try and rush it. Now we're going to put, I won't even clean that brush. I'll just give it a wipe on my paper towel there. Okay, now I'm picking up the raw umber again, just chiseling it on both sides of this flathead. That way I can control it against the horizon line there. Now I want to get this against the horizon line. If you want to mask this off, feel free to do that. The water way out there is a little bit darker because the sun's getting behind it now. So I'm putting the horizon line to the level it needs to go. There we go. Try and keep it straight, Mr. Ian. It's subtly dark out there. Now I want to clean this brush, and then I want to pick up my red gold or the orange that you're using. Okay, get that on the whole entire length of the end of the brush. Get right up to that darker colour you've put there, and just put some bands in here like that, all the way down to the bottom. Now, I've got that off the brush. I'm going to use the brush on its edge just to kind of marry those two together there. That's it. Just so they look a bit more watery and naturally and all that sort of stuff. Now I've got some more of this red gold. I've just wiped the brush, I haven't washed it. And we want to put some bands in there now, because this is looking a bit stark, looks a bit like a Jaffa lolly, you know. So we'll get some bands in there. When you put these bands on and you're stroking it like this, careful when you stroke it, because you might be creating some good strokes there and you might overdo them. So keep a lookout for that, and if they look good, stop your stroking. Then to finish it off, we're just going to put the Indian yellow onto our brush. See how I've loaded it all across the edge there? And I want this getting right into that orangey colour, because if anything, this has got a yellow glow over the water. Alright, I've lost my bands, not to worry. Get that right down to the bottom there. Get a lot more yellow on there, because I want the water, if anything, more yellowy orange than the sky's orangey orange, if you can understand what I'm trying to say. So we're getting this here. I'm just bombing it on, there we go. And then we'll put some of that sun's reflection in the water as well. That's it, that's it. I've just picked up some red gold there, just to see what that does. See there how I've just stamped it on? And then wipe it through, and look at that, let's just put a Now everything in the water is still wet. I want to get some reflection of our sun in the water. So you can use a flat brush, a filbert brush. I'm just going to use my fan brush. Now I've got the good titanium white out of a tube. I'm not using that soft student craft paint. And the horizon line, get your sun reflection tight against the edge of it there. Okay, that's good. And pretty much in a straight line down, I want to stamp this on now. There's my line I want to go to. Pick up some more. Now the paint's very wet on here. I'm pressing it on softly, because if I press it too hard it's going to go a bit orangey, because I want it to be white. And we'll give that a light push with that brush I've been using before. I've cleaned it in my flat 2-inch synthetic brush, and I just want to like that. On both sides, coming from the middle of it. I'm going to wipe the brush, come right across it, and then I'm going to get the white and intensify it now, but I did that to get our shimmer in the reflection. Okay. So I've got myself a softer filbert brush now, because that fan brush was very stabby, which created it to blend with that orange. I haven't dried it. I still want things a bit wet, but this hopefully I can control a bit better than what that fan brush was. I want to get some shimmering, brighter values of white. And if you feel, you know what, Ian, I want to dry mine, well, by all means dry it, because it does pick up the paint, but we want a sort of a shimmery effect, so it looks like it's got the surface of the water in the reflection. shaping the reflection. Just like that. And I just want a bit more here. Okay, I want a bit of a bank, so I'm going to use the colours within the painting. So I've got me white and me raw umber here. Mixing it with some of the white. I want it dull. Pick up the whites I've got there. And I want to, we might lose that front bit of a reflection, doesn't matter. This is our shoreline here. So it's a bit darker than what's on in the watercolour there. And we just want to scrumble it into the water as well. That's why I haven't dried anything yet. I'll put that reflection back into the wet sand of that sun. See, when this is dry, I'll probably come down and crisp up some nice white reflection there. I've just added some more raw umber onto the brush and scooting it through there because it was a bit pale. And we're dribbling this into the water. Okay, work out where you want your water lapping onto this is the ground here, so do a bit at a time. I'm just using that soft filbert and I've got my scrumbling brush, and the top side of this line I want to keep all regardless how that's looking, I want to keep all these. Well, let's soften that up a bit. I want to push this into there, but you know what, I forgot to do something, so let's do that now. I've got to dry this because I'm going to have trouble doing it when it's wet. This scrumbling brush is going to push the paint right down to the surface of the canvas, and we don't want that. So let's give this a blow dry. It doesn't have to be 100% dry, it can be tacky dry. Okay, let's give that a go again. So we'll trace this. If anything, you want the bottom side tight. Let's do a bit at a time. And a paper towel or something to wipe your scrumbling brush as you scrumble. Now that's scrumbling into there a lot better. I'm not doing it too much along because you don't want to keep the edge on the top side there. That's got to be scrumbled in. And this stuff just makes a surface on the top of that water. So I've just got normal titanium white out of the tube here. What's that look like in the monitor? That's not too bad. I can get some more out. So we'll continue from there, just a bit at a time, a bit at a time. And I'm just going to scrumble the top side only, the top side only. Jiggle it into the water there. If it's wet enough to pull it back like that, by all means pull it back. See what I'm doing there? Keep wiping your little scrumbler as you go. And we're putting surface on top of the water where it's hitting the bank. Okay, we'll keep going. Just a bit at a time so you got time to work it back. Put some there, just so you can scrumble it. Look at that. Very easy. We'll come down here now a little bit, stop, blend it back. Just the top half, just the top half. See how easy it is? If you think, oh, I think I can do it, but I'm not sure, well, don't try and do it in a painting. Practice it. So when you're doing a painting, you know it's going to work. But keep your scrumbles parallel with the painting. That worked better there. Don't bring them around like that. It'll make your water look like it's standing up sideways. Keep them parallel. And we can also put a second layer. Let's just say something here, just as an example. This paint that I'm using, the titanium white, has got the tiniest bit of water in it to get it to flow. Now we want some more. I want to see how that one's looking. Beautiful. Just another little one lapping, so we could probably have one, let's say about here. Quickly scrumble it back, leaving the bottom side sharp and hard. The top side scrumbling parallel into your water. You can't go wrong. Okay, I've picked up a bit of the dirty paint here, so it's not pure white with that soft filbert brush I'm using. And just in the sand, I want to get, where's the center? All the way down here. I want to get a reflection of the sun in the sand and pull it across. Grab yourself a liner, a script liner, and your darkest value on your palette here. I've just got some burnt umber, wet me brush, and I want to get this quite inky, just so as we're going to get some nice, sharp, tight, little fine lines. And this helps sit it down onto the sand. So very gingerly, turn your brush as you go, wiggle your hand. It doesn't have to be a full line, but so long as it's nice and tight. Bits are broken up, see there. I'll load it up again some more. And we'll come around from about here. It's just a darker value, putting shadow under there. Twist this here, twist your brush as you turn. I'm twisting and twisting. If I wasn't twisting it, it would have broke up by now and not been able to transfer onto the canvas. Nice little thin lines if you can help it. Twist, shake your hand, just like that. How's that looking? Beautiful. And we can probably, just this bit here, I'm looked in the monitor, like break it up a bit. How's that? That's all right. Let's do just the sand side. Let's not get carried away and do the bits in the water. Okay. Okay, grabbing a flat brush and the burnt umber now. I've dampened it a bit, and we want to keep them parallel with the painting. We just want to put some sort of landmass out here, okay? So we're keeping it parallel. We'll just scatter some smaller ones of this, break it up. So I'm pretty much making broken up pieces of this, but if anything I want them flat. How's that looking? That's all right. See the bits where I've left orange, that's like water still in there. Now, given everything a dry, I'm going to grab some of my white and slowly tease it with that burnt umber, just to highlight what I've just put on there. And I want to, let's just carefully put some light on that front top edge there, and bring that rock in front of that one. Okay, just like that. And I'm just very gingerly touching this. The light's reflecting on bits and pieces over there. Shadowed and light in here as well, just where the water's hitting. Okay, I've just grabbed some dirty white, very thinly kiss the water against the objects here. Just got water tracing in there. I've just got a little bit of black on my brush, not too much, and I'm trying to just fix up these rocks here, giving some shadow down the bottom side where the sun can't quite get to, just to separate them. See if it's creating any value and realism to it. I've dried everything. I don't like the way this is coming down on this angle, so I'm going to keep it there, and I've picked up this colour again. So here's another mistake I'm fixing up for you. Everything's dry, and we'll get that water wrapped around. So this rock, if anything, is this way. We've changed the bottom shape. There we go. Didn't like it. So I've got this darker colour again, and I'm just sort of keeping it straight like that off the painting. So we don't want to bring this back there now, we want to bring it like here. And quickly grab your scrumbling brush and pull that back into the painting, because the water's come around the corner and stopped. That's a little bit wet still. I've washed my scrumbling brush and it's a bit damp and it's pulling the paint off, so persevere with that. How's that looking? That looks a bit better. I'll just scallop it out a bit more so as it's not so... I don't want it pointy though. Yeah, that'll do. And we'll put that shadow back in there. So we'll come around here. Now I'm not going to do the shadow at the back side of it. I'm just going to go to here where you see. Okay. Just breaking up some of that heavy white there. Okay, now we're just going to finish off this corner here. So I'm putting some stones just here. Where's my paint? Now I've just wiped the brush, it's not overly clean. Picking up some white and give some of these an individual top, just to show where the stones are. And I'm going to have a look in the monitor and see if it needs any shadowing underneath them. That's it, just a pale highlight there. Yeah, see they're floating a little bit. So now I'm going to grab my little liner again, pick up the dark colour, and we're going to just sink them down. Little rocks, little gap fillers. There's so many ways you can do these, but practice doing it either this way or double loading your brush up with a light and a dark side, and practice laying them onto a canvas. Now just to finish it off, I'm going to brighten up my sun there. So we want pretty much, where's our sun? The middle of the sun's there. I don't want to come down. And we'll cross over to Janice Burns in a minute to see what she's up to. Okay, so we've intensified that area there. Alright, just before I sign it, I've just gone and intensified the middle of the sun and gradually blurring the edge of it away as well. I've put the paint on the brush, wiped a lot of it off, just so as I can scrumble the edge glare into there. Okay. Now we'll put an autograph on it. Like I said, we'll cross to Janice Burns from Florida there and see what she's up to. Okay, check the links in the description below. All my paintings are available to buy. You can message me there on Facebook. All the links are there. There's also a donate button. You can donate to my PayPal there and support my content. Okay. Let's go and see what our lovely friend Janice Burns is doing there.
Hi everybody, this is Janice Burns in Vero Beach, Florida, and I've been doing a little bit of painting today. This is my work in progress, and I want to show everybody, this is my little helper. This is Romeo. He helps me paint. Say hi, Ian. Everybody loves Ian's kitties, so I wanted to share mine. Anyway, now I want to tell Ian it's time to whack a frame on it.
Okay, thank you for that, Janice. Janice Burns there in Vero Beach, Florida. Wow. There we go, that's not too shabby. We've got either a rising sun or a setting sun over the ocean. We've just got some rockery to the right here. You can add any elements you want to this, okay?
Okay, thank you for that, Janice Burns. That was Janice Burns in Vero Beach, Florida. If you like what I'm doing, tell your friends. And if you don't, you tell everybody, okay? All the best, goodbye, good luck, and good on ya.